Coming up today on Breeze TV.
The controversial housing project that kept City Council deliberating until 3 a.m.
And how JMU baseball comes together as a team for opening day.
Then Mayor DEANNA Reed sits down with Breeze TV for Black History Month.
Plus, how the Breeze is celebrating 100 years in circulation.
All this and more coming up today on Breeze TV.
Live from the Allison B. Parker Studio in the School of Media Arts and Design at James Madison University, this is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. I'm Maggie Rickerby.
And I'm Sam Game.
The Supreme Court is hearing a case that could change the way social media companies police their sites. Justices will listen to arguments in Gonzalez versus Google on Tuesday. The case is challenging a law from 1996 that says internet companies aren't responsible for what is posted on their sites. Naomi Gonzalez was a college student from California. She was the only American killed in the 2015 terrorist attacks in Paris. Gonzalez's family is suing Google for promoting ISIS videos. ISIS posted videos to YouTube taking responsibility for the attack. Google purchased YouTube in 2006.
Here in Virginia, JMU alumna Allison Parker's father is watching the case closely. Allison was murdered during a live interview while working as a reporter for WDBJ television. Her father, Andy, wrote an op-ed for the independent newspaper supporting the Gonzalez family. In the op-ed, Parker says he approached the Senate Judiciary Committee in 2019 to testify about the widespread online distribution of the video of his daughter's murder. That video spawned hundreds of conspiracy theories claiming Parker and her family were crisis actors. When people searched up Allison Parker, these videos would show up on the YouTube sidebar as a recommendation. Parker says, quote, "I've been fighting this battle since Allison's death, and I won't stop until justice is served."
City Council remains in gridlock following Tuesday's public hearing on the proposed Bluestone Town Center. Harrisonburg residents spoke until nearly 3 a.m., advocating for or against the affordable housing project. Executive producer Kayla Brown spoke with members of the community on how they hope the city moves forward.
The proposed 900-unit project is designed to solve the city's affordable housing crisis. Nate Riddle, executive director of Open Doors, says the saturated market has made housing difficult.
Guests still have to work and have to make enough to even obtain affordable housing. Also availability of places. So there's a lot of people that have vouchers, but there's nowhere in the price range to utilize those.
Director of the HRHA, Michael Wong, says the project's inclusivity allows for more opportunity.
The development has home ownership on the outside with single-family homes. It has townhomes for sale. It has townhomes for rent, and it will include senior housing and multifamily housing.
Coordinator for Livable Harrisonburg, Casey KETTLER, says
you have choices about how you develop. We can have a lot of single family homes and strip malls, or we can have more, people oriented.
Friendly City for Smart Growth says that while they aren't opposed to affordable housing, the combination of overcrowding, geology and health concerns, and outsourcing leaves too much unknown.
To me, that's the biggest aspect of the things being brought in on trailers or on flatbeds instead of being built here, is simply the loss of local income.
I think most of the residents are only opposed to it just because they don't know. I don't think there's been nearly enough study done.
As of February 17th, a petition started by the group has obtained nearly 1,000 signatures. KETTLER says he shares some of these concerns, but believes an agreement can be reached.
It's less about those being barriers to the project and more about how do we address them. Ultimately, we need places for people to live, and that, I think, outweighs the other concerns.
City Council will revisit the proposal February 28th at 7 p.m. Reporting from City Hall, I'm Kayla Brown.
JMU welcomed 1,009 transfer students this fall. But what is it like being a part of that group? Assistant News Director Moses Harris takes a look.
Coming into a new university with thousands of new people can be overwhelming. So what does JMU offer in the form of help to these students coming from community college or other four universities? And do students like transfer Charles Nicholas Owen know about them?
I wasn't aware of a transfer transfer center that would help me with that as far as advising.
As to why students may not know about transfer advising or not taking advantage of it, Jolie Lewis, the Associate Director of Transfer Student Success, has this to say.
So we have some different ideas for like maybe how we can package the pre-transfer advising things that we have so that maybe there's a little more name association with it.
But that's not the only thing concerning transfer students at this school. For some, it may be harder to transition in a new environment, but it may be easier for others, like sophomore transfer Eric Young.
When I came here, like switching to like being on campus, I have more time to get involved like in club tennis and like just being in classes in general, like in person. I have like more people to talk to, more groups to like socialize with.
The same sentiment was repeated by Charles Nicholas Owen, stating that they did well socially, but he also highlighted another common problem for other transfers.
Academically, I think that they struggled more than they probably had to.
So where's the disconnect between the students and administration, as transfer advising and Jolie Lewis believe?
We know that they are used to, they have college experience, right? They already know how to navigate, but there's also always going to be a transition to your new institution.
A transition that some may find hard to navigate when they either don't know about or haven't been introduced to the resources available. This has been Moses Harris on Breeze TV.
Picket fences, hand-painted signs, and rows of vegetables have sprouted up in food garden programs across HCPS schools. Breeze TV reporter Lizzie Stone has the story.
At local food gardens, students are taught about healthy foods and growing processes, as well as sustainable habits. Activities are chosen to engage students as much as possible with everyday processes.
We try to bring kids in, whether it's a salsa garden, a pizza garden. So we grew all the ingredients for a pizza, and then they tasted it and they're like, oh my God.
One goal of the program is to make memories for students that will stick with them. Educators and volunteers want kids to stay connected to the nature they experience.
Research shows when kids have access to green space, then they're going to care for the environment as an adult.
JMU student groups volunteer with the program, helping to construct parts of the garden and work with kids. The project is an opportunity to give back in different ways, from student lessons to composting systems to the many habitats built for pollinators.
It's both about actively having environmental impact and then also moving it forward to future generations in a fun, creative way.
Those involved in the program are still working on expanding and improving it for more people to enjoy. This has been Lizzie Stone for Breeze TV. Now back to you.
JMU Libraries announced a temporary location for Carrier Library after it closes in May 2023 for renovations. Located at 1050 South Main Street, students can speak with librarians, check out and return books, use computer stations, or print and scan documents. They are looking for student input on the name of the new building. Options include JMU Libraries Express, JMU Libraries on South Main, and Carrier Satellite.
Coming up on Breeze TV Sports,
the Dukes double up on an in-state opponent.
And baseball is starting their season in full swing.
Then, the JMU softball stadium is doubling in size for their first Sunbelt season.
Don't go anywhere, we're just getting started.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit, the one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true. but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
This is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk. I'm Colby Reese. Let's take a look at the biggest news from JMU Athletics this week. The Dukes took on in-state conference rival Old Dominion for the second time in 2 weeks last night at the Atlantic Union Bank Center. JMU took on a physical game with a very intense start for both sides. Noah Friedel hit 2 early three-pointers for the Dukes as their offense began to settle in. The team would take a 10-point lead into the locker room thanks to a Tacole Molson 3 right before halftime. The second half continued back and forth action with JMU maintaining a steady lead until the final 2 minutes when the Monarchs cut the advantage down to 2 points. From there, JMU stepped up on both ends of the court and closed out ODU to get the win. Julian Wooden, who had 5 three-pointers earlier in Norfolk earlier this month, stood out once again, contributing 17 points. Friedel played 36 minutes, finishing with 14 points. Old Dominion had 3 players who were injured in the contest. The win improves the team's overall record to 19-9 and Sunbelt record to 10-5. The Dukes return to action Saturday when they'll take on Louisiana, a team currently a game ahead of them in the conference standings. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. at AUBC. In last night's win over Old Dominion, the importance of a particular player and aspect of the game was revealed. The drive for the win was real. In JMU's second win of the season over ODU, the Dukes gave their all to get another victory over the Monarchs. Head coach Mark BYINGTON spoke on how his team approached the game to execute their goal.
They played desperate and wanted the game, and I like the fact that I thought we played desperate and wanted the game.
Mezzi Offerham played a vital role in the team's 4th straight win over ODU, leading the way with 18 points and 5 assists. Monarchs head coach Jeff Jones says Offerham
is what makes them special. He adds something to the team. He's big enough to be a center, but he doesn't play like a center. He handles the ball. He alleviates pressure. He can obviously score. Defensively, he can guard.
After being out-rebounded by 7 in their first matchup, JMU returned the favor and beat them by 10 boards. Jones reflects on what the Dukes do to give them the rebound advantage.
They're a different animal when it comes to rebound. Like most teams, they're moving targets. They're big, they're athletic, and aggressive.
Jones knows JMU is a tough team to beat and credits them for their effort on and off the court.
They're experienced, they're tough, they're well coached. They're just a good basketball team.
The Dukes swept the Monarchs in their first 2 Royal Rivalry matchups this season. Reporting from under the basket alongside Ellie Finza for Breeze TV, this is Colby Reese. Baseball has their season opener at Florida State University today at 5 p.m., the first of a 3-game set to open the season. Reporter Eric Shellhouse previewed the outlook for the Dukes in their inaugural Sun Belt season.
Despite losing first-round draft pick Chase DeLauder in the MLB draft last July, JMU's lineup is ready to lead off their 2023 season. Manager MARLIN IKENBERRY says the depth of the Dukes lineup is strengthened by players' selflessness and the presence of veterans on the team.
What's so unique about this team is, we're really well versed in playing team baseball, and that's what they understand. Hey, it's not just going to be about me, it's going to be about my teammates, and I'm really excited to see how we evolve through conference play.
Infielder Mason Dunaway, who led the team in stolen bases last season, says getting runners on base sets up opportunities for teammates.
Trying to get in scoring position for the other guys in the lineup because I know if I'm on second or third, they're going to get me in.
The pitching will be another strength, with the starting rotation regaining Donovan Burke from an injury-shortened 2022. Upperclassmen in the bullpen have led the late innings, with a powerful bond of trust playing a key role.
The chemistry in the bullpen is awesome. We're all rooting for each other, and that's the best thing about it. You don't want guys that are hoping other guys fail, right? And I don't think we have that.
Everyone looks after each other, tries to push each other to get better every day. The experience is very useful, as Colgan said. Guys can help each other and just trust that when you pass the ball off to the next guy, he's going to get the job done.
Coach IKENBERRY says the adversity the group has faced between COVID and a ban from the CAA tournament last spring has molded them for a strong debut in the Sun Belt. Reporting from Eagle Field, I'm Eric Shellhouse.
Before their first home game, JMU softball awaits the finishing touches on Veterans Memorial Field. The decision to upgrade the stadium came in reaction of the success of the program, interest from the fan base, and the need for a top-quality facility to match its program.
I think it's nice to have that when we go places, and especially when we get to the postseason, and see different stadiums and what they have to offer. Now we have it, and I think recruiting it's very big because honestly we have now one of the nicest stadiums on the East Coast.
With seating capacity being upgraded from 600 to 1,500, the Dukes look forward to seeing the stands filled with fans at their first home games on March 10th against St. Joseph's and Coppin State. That's all from the world of sports. Maggie and Sam, back to you.
Thanks, Colby, for an update on sports. Coming up next,
Black hair care products are stocked on the shelves at the JMU bookstore.
And Mayor DEANNA Reed talks about her career as the first Black female mayor of Harrisonburg.
Then, from the Ohio train crash to the aftermath of the Michigan State shooting, our politics team gives us the latest in national news.
Stay tuned.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one. The only Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
This is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. Experiencing salon life as a child, JMU graduate student and owner of K's Creations, Kariah Jones has made black hair care products available on campus. Jones is a double Duke in the Centennial Scholars Program who wants students of color to feel seen and represented at JMU.
I just wanted students to be able to have access, and not only access, but as a prospective student, when you're a student of color touring a PWI, if you see those things on campus and somewhere like the bookstore, which is like the heart of a university, you'll know that you're represented in some way, shape, or form.
With the help of Dr. Tim Miller, Dr. Brent Lewis, Tawana Moore, and others, Jones was able to make her dream a reality. You can now find picks, wave brushes, curling cream, and other hair care necessities in the JMU bookstore.
DEANNA Reed is the first African-American woman to be elected mayor of Harrisonburg. In reflecting on her win, she says diversity was the real winner. Reporter Noelle James spoke with her about her journey.
You know, right after I won, then the next cycle, my vice mayor came in, and that was Sal Romero. And so he made history of being the first Hispanic to serve on council. And so I kind of see that I had to make that decision to do this because it opened the doors for others.
She shares how her journey to the mayoral seat was something she was not ready for. To watch the full interview with Reed, visit our website at thebreezejmu.org. Contributor Eleanor Shaw is here for the latest in politics. What do you have for us, Eleanor?
Hello, JMU. I'm Eleanor Shaw, filling in for Regine Aranazari, and this is your National News Rundown. A train derailed in East Palestine, Ohio, earlier this month. Further investigations found the derailment resulted in the release of toxic and flammable chemicals, such as vinyl chloride. A town hall was held on Wednesday evening in East Palestine where residents expressed their anger over the accident. A shooting occurred at Michigan State University on Monday, claiming the lives of 3 students with 5 in critical condition. This is the latest shooting during a devastating year of gun violence. Presidential election controversies have not died down. A Georgia court released a report by a special grand jury that may implicate former President Trump and his allies in a case of perjury during his efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. The grand jury has yet to reach a conclusion, but the court confirmed no tampering occurred to help President Biden win during the election. Returning home, the Virginia House of Representatives passed the text of a bill requiring all publicly funded universities to train first-year students in human trafficking prevention during orientation. The text passed on Wednesday after the bill passed the Senate in January. That's all for National News Rundown. Back to you, Sam and Maggie.
Thanks, Eleanor, for keeping us in the loop on the national news. Coming up on Breeze TV.
A local animal clinic is providing affordable health care for your furry friends.
And Breeze editors reflect on their time at the Breeze after 100 years in circulation.
Keep it here.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit, the one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
This is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. A local nonprofit veterinary provider is offering services for pets of both residents and students in Harrisonburg. Executive editor Zia Fakiri has the story.
Yeah. Hi. Oh, good book. Local shelters have seen a major influx in the last year. Just with inflation, people are having a harder time affording care. Inasira is a nonprofit veterinary hospital. We serve everyone in the community, but we also offer free services to certain members of our community who are in need.
Oh, this is a jumper. The year before last, Inasira went and rescued. It was a lot of pups in the shelter with really bad conditions. Bugs. He was a very sweet boy, that Simba, right? And so until we could find him homes, the staff helped out and fostered.
This way, Bubba. This way. We have a program called Operation Free Pet Health Care, and with that program, we're able to provide subsidized care to over 2,000 pets each year. That program is supported through donations and support of our community members. Oh, I don't need another dog. I don't need another dog. Part of our mission is to keep animals with the people who love them, with their families, by providing affordable veterinary care. We'll see dogs who have been hit by cars. Just last week we had a cat that was shot, came in, and we were able to remove the bullet. Pets come in who were very, very sick, and you see them recover. You see families who are in need and can't afford care, and we're able to help them, and it's a really emotional process. We see some of the saddest stuff, but we also were able to help the pets, and that's really what it's all about.
Are you wagging your tail real hard? Yeah, you are.
If you're interested in volunteering or donating, go to Anna Sierra's website at annasierra.org.
The Breeze newspaper celebrates its 100th anniversary in a special centennial edition, fresh off the press. Executive producer Kayla Brown reflects on the paper's past, present, and the future ahead.
A breeze blows through the Shenandoah Valley, and in 1922, it didn't smell like dog food. This mountain breeze contended against the campus cat, and on a coin flip became the name of the new school paper. The first issue of the Breeze was released December 2nd, 1922. The paper served the small women's campus with lighthearted news. A century later, the Breeze still stands, delivering hard news to the community and uplifting the next generation of student journalists.
It means the world to me. It's been the best decision that I ever made.
The Breeze is settled at 1598 South Main Street, where Editor-in-Chief Charlotte Matherly meets her staff every Wednesday for production.
When we have a paper, I typically read every story before it goes on a page, and then I read every story once it's on the page, and I oversee production and design and everything like that. So it's a really long day, but it's a really fun day.
The Breeze has evolved alongside the community, from broadsheet gossip columns to the tragedies that have defined the community. The centennial edition of The Breeze serves as a reminder that the world keeps going, and so does journalism.
Anyone on our staff will tell you that we are student journalists, but we are journalists first and students second. We fight a lot to be treated as journalists.
As media constantly evolves, Executive Editor Zia Fakiri is confident both the paper and Rising Broadcast will continue to evolve with it.
Thinking where this organization could go in 100 years, how it could evolve, I couldn't even imagine it. I'm sure the people 100 years ago couldn't even imagine where we are today.
A lot of the leadership at The Breeze and Breeze TV today, minus one or two people, honestly, is all women, and I'm really proud of that. My little part of this 100-year legacy, and it's really special.
This is an industry where it's hard for women to break through in. If they saw us here today, they would be proud.
I hope The Breeze will continue to be an organization and an institution that lasts the test of time and continues to serve this community, because the JMU and Harrisonburg communities are really special. And I know how much our student journalists care about the work that they do, and I just hope that continues and that legacy lives on.
From South Main Street, I'm Kayla Brown.
For more on the Centennial, reporter Alexa Bonilla is here with The Breeze's General Manager Brad Jenkins. Alexa?
Thanks, Sam, and thank you, Brad, for joining me. What is it like working for The Breeze previously as a student and now as a general manager?
Well, so I worked as a student in the 1990s, so things were a lot different. I mean, we didn't have social media. We had a newspaper that came out twice a week, but we didn't have much on the web. When I went to get my first job in journalism, in fact, there was only one computer hooked up to the internet. And so a lot has changed in that time, in that 25 years or so since I was a student. Now we've got social media, we've got all sorts of stuff, other ways to tell stories. We've got this TV show now that we didn't have back then. But the bottom line is that the journalism stays the same. The storytelling stays the same. That's the bottom line of what we do.
So Giving Week is next week. Can you tell us more about Giving Week and why people should donate to this organization?
We would love the support of JMU students, of faculty, staff, of alumni, because journalism is really important. It's important to what our students do. Not only are we training our students journalism and reporting and editing, but we're also teaching them how to lead. I talk to alums all the time who maybe didn't go into journalism, but they still look back on their experience at The Breeze and they talk about the leadership that it taught them, the teamwork that it taught them, how to work under a deadline. And so what we do really does have a huge impact on our students today. It sends them into the world with some great skills. And if people want to donate to that, we'd be grateful.
So Parkhurst is our other advisor, for those of you that don't know, and he's already agreed to this. So if we reach our Giving Day goal, will you agree to be pied in the face on the show live next week.
I will be pied on the show live next week if you reach your goal. Absolutely. It would be my honor.
Well, thank you so much, Brad. Back to you guys at the main desk.
Well, that's some great news from Brad. Make sure that you guys are looking at that link to donate for the JMU Give Day for the Breeze. If we get $5,000, Maggie over here gets pied. So yeah, that's all we have for today.
I hope that we meet that goal so that we can see Brad and Parker's get pied. We'll see you all next week, same time, same place.